right. Hello and hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm JJ, and these are, you might know them, some voice actors from the Marvel Rivals cast. I just wanted to say this is really cool, and this is my first time live, so ignore my face as much as you can, but let's get into this. I'm tripping up already. We are here to do some Q&A, all right? I have some questions for the cast. You guys definitely have questions for the cast. Ignore that one question. You know the one, don't ask the Batman one, please. And before we get started, if you guys are interested in getting any merch or any signatures, check out the link below on streamly.com/marvel-rivals. You can check it out and get your own print. So before we begin, you guys want to do some introductions, starting with Dan going down?
Yeah, I am Daniel Marin, and I play Namor like the tide. Namor always rises again.
James?
Oh, shoot, sorry. James Mathis III, and I play Black Panther.
So cool.
Is that me?
Yeah, sorry.
Hi, I'm Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and I play Mantis.
Hi, I'm Abby Trott. I am Magic and also Darkchild, but only when I'm angry.
Nice. What up, y'all? My name is Scott White. I'm the voice of Human Torch. Flame on! Yeah.
Said it.
I said it.
You did the thing.
Won't be the last time.
You did the thing.
I did the thing.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jordan Reynolds, the voice of Adam Warlock.
Heck
Rise,
yeah.
my friends. Happy to be here.
Hey, Andrew Margotto, the first. Straight from Yancey Street. I play the Thing.
What's up, everybody? Scott Porter here, a.k.a. Star-Lord, and I would scream legendary, but I'd blow everybody's ears out, so let's just let that one ride.
You have to do it at the end.
At the end, it has to. It's
Right.
part of admission.
What's up, everybody? I'm Eli Mountjoy. I play the Winter Soldier. Again!
Oh, I don't ever want to hear that again. Oh, just start running. As soon as I hear again, I'm like, I'm out of here, man. I'm just running to the edge of the
Dude, funny
mountain.
enough, it's always Star-Lord that kills me.
Oh, yes. Same.
All right.
Once you
Whoa.
have this group together, I think you never want to play the game any other. We all have to just get together and just yell at each other while we play.
I'm done.
Right.
That'll be fine. All right, guys, chat. You guys can ask whatever questions you can think of. They got to be really good. So if they're bad, I'm not going to just, it's got to be good. Just quality control here. Very serious stream. But to start it off, let me ask like a general question that everyone can answer. Well, now I'm starting to understand that you guys might have played the game once or twice or three times or a lot. Is there?
You said once, right? Once.
Yeah, what's that been like playing the game? Have you guys ever gone on mic and done the voice with the character, gotten any interactions with the team, anything like that before? Anyone, I guess, have an experience like that?
I guess I'll go.
Jordan?
That's how I discovered like TikTok can do things.
Yeah.
I made a video. It took me way too long to make, but I was just talking to. I was just playing, and I was just like, "Hi, do you like my Adam Warlock impression?" And he's like, "No, it's not good." And I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "Can you teach me how to do it better?" And he's like, "No, man." And so, anyways, we banter. It's really silly. It's got almost like 1 million views on TikTok.
Really?
So that's how people realize, oh, there's humans behind the voices, and so that's been really fun. So yeah, I play around with the voice chat at times, but I don't want to be like a douche about it. Like, did you know? It's just so we just have a good time.
Cool.
Yeah, I've only ever solo queued, so no, haven't pulled that trick on anybody. What I'll do sometimes is go and like watch people when they're streaming on Twitch, and I'll be like, they'll be playing with Star-Lord, and I'll be like, yo, I'm the voice. And they'll be like, I can't verify that at all. You're just some dude in the chat. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. So I just let that go. But eventually someone's going to figure it out and be like, oh my God, that was the guy in all of our chat. Oh, well.
That's amazing, Scott. I usually do that as well, and then I'll just you type in Discord, and I hop into their Discord, and then just like you can see the shift when they're like, "I don't believe you," to "Oh my God, you're the guy." It's awesome.
A little bit of Charlie Chaplin at the imposter convention.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, let me think. Any questions from the chat? Anyone interesting? Question? Oh, okay. Here's an interesting question from Austin. What has been one of your voice roles that has meant so much to you, and why? Anyone want to answer that question right off the bat? Colleen, would you like to answer this?
Sure. So many of them. I mean, I absolutely love what I do. A day in front of the microphone is a good day. So it's hard to pick. Well, it doesn't say favorites, so good, because I'm terrible at favorites. But Tails is one of my. He's meant a lot to me. Oops, I'm dropping all my things. But I love Tails. He's you know, I got to be in movies with him, and he's so sweet and lovely and loyal and earnest, and I love him to pieces. But I loved playing Mantis though too, since we're on Marvel Rivals, because I am such a Marvel nerd, and I loved getting to dip my toe back in the Marvel universe. And she was just, who knew? Like, I've been going to conventions and people have been talking about this game and how, like, I feel like it's like, is it like a 4-hour minimum that you have to play? That seems to be the number. Like, I've been playing it for like 4 hours straight. But they love Mantis, and who knew? Because I love her too, and but she's not like the main. She's not Star-Lord. She's not Gamora. But I guess she's sneaky, and anyway. So that's me.
Nice.
Awesome.
Got a comment, Colleen. Love your wasp.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much. That was my first superhero, and that was my first, foray into the Marvel universe.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so fun.
I'll jump in next. Star-Lord, I've been playing him for years now, over a decade in different Marvel games. And I just feel like very fortunate that they keep bringing me back and let me have fun with this dude, because I just don't have more fun in a booth than I do with Star-Lord. I get to just throw everything out there. And he's a wannabe rock star who ended up being a superhero and has no idea what he's doing most of the time. And I get to just ride that out. And I just feel fortunate. It's a decade playing Star-Lord now. This dude means the world to me.
That's amazing.
All right. This is actually a very interesting question. DJ47, when is Batman coming to Marvel Rivals? Do we have an answer?
April 1st. No,
April 1st?
No, I don't know.
Who
else do you want to know?
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
You name a character, I'll tell you when it drops. No problem.
Let's break some NDAs today,
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah, why not?
I see a ukulele creeping into frame there, Scott.
It's a big ukulele with 6 strings. But yes, I do have.
Oh, it's a macro-lele. Got it. Cool.
Yeah. If things go bad, I'll just play us a ditty. I'll just, we'll kumbaya us out of here. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, well, wonderful question.
Oh, I think T'Challa's pretty important. If I can tag on to
please.
the previous
How did you playing T'Challa?
Yeah,
feel?
the role as Black Panther is super important. Just to add, in today's context with the assault on DEI, I think it's super important to continue to play diverse superheroes, and I am proud to carry the mantle of that. And for some, a lot of children, they don't have heroes who look like them. They don't have heroes who embody the characteristics, the moral standards that we need to perpetuate a beautiful society. And so to be able to portray that character and his timelessness, I'd have to say he's among my favorites.
Yeah, congrats, dude. Hey, James, is this your first time voicing Black Panther? Have you voiced it before, or is this kind of a brand new thing?
Thankfully, I had the opportunity to voice him prior to Marvel Rivals, and each time I'm equally appreciative.
Oh, so rad, dude. Congrats, man. That's so great.
Yeah, we got to work together.
Congrats to us all.
Avengers First Made Us Heroes, right?
Absolutely. You are my wasp.
And you're my Black Panther.
Mhm.
Twice now.
You see what we did there? We did a thing.
Oh.
Dude, I gotta say, man, James is my only Black Panther in my mind. I've worked with him 3 times when he's Black Panther now, and I was his brother on the Black Panther's quest. I was White Wolf, and I got to see this man work firsthand. And for the people out there that don't understand, like, normally we don't meet each other ever. We don't see each other unless you're in a group setting, like maybe for animation, but for video game voiceover, we're almost never in the same room together. So I got to really know James on that project, and he upholds all T'Challa's nobility in person as well. This man is incredible. So just good to see him again.
You're very kind. Likewise, brother. Good to see you, Scott.
Well, I see a lot of you guys have experience with Marvel, so this is also another interesting question from Luke. Did any of you grow up reading and being fans of Marvel comics? Maybe before the role, before any of this?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can jump right into the deep end of this one.
Yeah.
It's as a kid growing up, I was no good at reading. I just go over the same paragraph over and over and over. I had a hard time clicking in. ADD brain or dyslexia or whatever it is, haven't been properly diagnosed, but it's something like that. And comic books were my portal into story and character and the development of that and the introduction to all these things. And I gripped on hard because the superheroes were always a combination of some lesser version of themselves that encounters something tragic or disparaging. They have to go through that. It transformed them and they become a better version of who they were. And what better lesson is there than that?
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Who's following that up?
I don't want none of that.
I'm gonna sit back on that.
Now
And
from
we'll
the
let
heart.
that be. When the Winter Soldier speaks, we all just okay.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I mean, I've been a Marvel fan my whole life. I mean, it was the first time that I realized like really cool characters could be put in really dangerous situations, and it just all the emotions you're supposed to feel when storytelling is happening. Comic books was the first time I actually like felt that for myself. Like a lot of times before that, I was going to the movies with my parents and seeing movies that they chose and all of that. And, you know, books when I was back in the 80s, it was like, you know, the kid stuff was fun, but it was the first thing I felt was my own. And I had all these stories and all of these characters that I knew that my parents didn't know. And up until then, I'd read all these things that my parents had already read, had already not had knowledge of. So this was mine. This was what I could step into, feel all those feels. And, you know, I'll never forget. I think it was like X-Men number 187 when Harry Leland died. And I was like, whoa, people can die in these things? This is crazy. Blew my mind. And so it was the danger and the maturity of it all. And I'm only 9 years old and I'm going, oh, this is mine forever. So
Awesome.
It's awesome.
I watched the X-Men show. I didn't do comics as a kid, but in the 90s, you know, 90s
Yeah.
kid, so I loved
The animated show is great. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just super, you know, I thought Wolverine was like the coolest, most badass dude ever, and you know, don't mess with me, bub. But it was just everyone. What I loved about it is when you're all of us when we're teens, we feel like outcasts. Right. Even you could be like the jock, like, yeah, man, I'm the quarterback. I'm going pro. All the chicks do me, bro. And that guy still feels like the biggest loser too. Right. So everyone feels like an outcast as a teen. It's called hormones. And X-Men took essentially very in beautiful symbolic ways that represent real life. Right. Everything from like civil rights era, things like that. And like what, you know, James was saying was going on today. And that is the finger pointing, the blaming of the other. The shaming of differences between people, and they did it in a tangible way that networks were not afraid of through X-Men, which came from the comics, and that's what the X-Men represent. So X-Men have a special, even though Adam is not an X-Men, the X-Men have a special place in my heart because that's they came together and they stood for good, and they were all welcomed, you know, by Professor X. So that's kind of my roots in Marvel.
Yeah, I really relate to the meme that we still see, which is it's just that young Magneto, played by Fassbender, just floating away, just leaving any social situation. Like I wanted that so badly as a teenager. I mean, just the ability to just rise up in the middle of a mall and just leave, and just that everybody looks in awe as you disappear into the sky.
Let me follow that up. Here's a question I was saving in my pocket. I'm assuming, since you guys have played the game and all this and seem very, you know, knowledgeable about the community, you have seen a bunch of the internet memes, I'm assuming, from your characters or from the game. Were there any?
I have not.
Really? You haven't seen any of the memes, like the Fantastic Four with all putting the fours up like that?
No.
I don't think so.
Or the
Sounds
thing?
like show and tell.
Nope.
Let's roll the clip.
You have to understand, in order to keep myself grounded, Jay, I can't see any of these things. Okay, I have to isolate myself.
That's right.
I know
Drew
as
personally.
well.
I can back that up. He's always got the limo, and like there's the clause, don't look him in the eye during sessions. I mean, he's very humble.
Which you've all broken.
I literally get tagged in every single Fantastic Four or Mr. Fantastic Namor memes. I play right into it. Half of my stream is me making fun of Reed Richards. I've done some videos that have gone crazy because of it, and I think it's just so funny. I literally fight with every time I see a Reed Richards in the game, I drop everything and I spend the rest of the game on him. So I definitely love the memes. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
So for anyone that's playing Mr. Fantastic and noticed Namor has been very aggressive towards you, it might have been Dan.
Oh, Richards.
Covers
Let
glowing.
me see.
It's so funny.
Andrew, here's a question that I've been seeing, and actually I have personally to ask you: does it hurt doing the voice? How do you?
No, it
prep yourself
doesn't.
for that?
Surprisingly, we were able to do a ton of sessions without too much burnout on that guy. I don't know why. Like there was like built-in ideas that this was going to be really harmful and that we needed to sort of take our time. And of course, the people at the studio at Bright Skull were very, cognizant of that and very cool about it. But honestly, I don't know. He's just right there, accessible. I was able to do a lot of it,
I'm going to jump in real quick because Drew and I are lucky. Well, I'm lucky enough. His security team doesn't think so, but we work together often enough. And Drew really has such an amazing range with his voice, especially in the lower end and what he can pull off in sessions for. I mean, I won't go down much resume
go on.
stuff. Okay, great. So we're gonna pull up the IMDb. Let's roll the clip. No, but your range is just fantastic, man. I've heard you sustain voices in amazing sessions, and I've stood right next to you and wow, that guy is a legend. And
what he doesn't tell you is it's like the Green Mile. Like I have to throw up a bunch of wasps and nap for 3 days afterwards. Like it's ugly.
Here's a question: are there any lines in particular that you had to say that stuck with you? Maybe either it was fun saying it, or when you think the character, that's the line that comes to mind.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'm pretty sure this was in my audition, and it's why I got I understood Namor. There's a line that it says typical air breather. And it just gave me his point of view of how he sees humans and other characters in the game. They are beneath him. And it was just such a perfect line because, yeah, as soon as you kill somebody and they're gone, they're just a typical air breather. I love that line. It informed me who Namor was. And I'll say it in my house just randomly. So that line is special.
Speaking of lines,
there's so many. I just want to jump in real quick because there are so many lines that are in my head because you asked if we're comic fans earlier. And for those of us that are, the team that built Marvel Riders, the writers on Marvel Rivals, they have such a deep understanding of like Marvel lore and the relationship between all of these characters. And you have a back and forth with every single character that comes into the game you get to record. And they're all quippy. They're all super funny, but they're all written from a place of character, and you get everything you need to know about each of these characters in the 20 seconds before Galacta decides to go match starting in 5, and you're like, whoa, I want to hear the rest of this, right? And so I just got to applaud the writers, and also I think it was Andrew that was talking about Bright Skull. Man, what a cool place to go and play, because we get to play. I don't know how y'all's experience is, but like, when I go in as Star-Lord, I started out in this business. I'm not a voice actor I'm not trained. Like I'm here watching all of you going, man, I am so lucky to be a part of this group because I came from like the world of beatbox and like performing drums and electric guitar with my mouth. And every now and then I'll just do it in the session just to like try and loosen myself up. And they're like, we want some of that in the game. Nice. And so I actually, when I'm talking with, I think it's Luna Snow in the game, I say something about, I'm more into classic rock myself, and I do a little guitar riff. And they're like, yeah, that's going in the game. I was like, wait, what? So Star-Lord does a guitar riff with his mouth in the game, and I'm like, this is insane. Why is this? But it's Bright Skull and it's the writers like coming together to give you such a complete picture of characters that you don't usually get in a fighting game or a game like this, where there's goal-oriented things that you have to get done, but you still feel like you are playing the superhero dream at each of these characters, and they do such a good job of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, was anyone else blown away that he said beatbox world?
That I was just about to say.
I was like, that would have been if they paused him and they were like, "What's he gonna say?" That would have been the last thing on my list. I'd have been like, maybe one of the greatest characters in Friday Night Lights might come up, but no, it's going to be from the beatbox world, and I think we all need a little taste.
I mean, that's how I got my start in the industry. I was in an acapella group, and we would busk on street corners in Orlando, Florida, and I went on tour. I lived in Japan. I did a show off Broadway called Toxic Audio, and then opened up for Carrot Top in Las Vegas doing beatboxing.
Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah, so that's how I got my start. But anyway, the fact that nobody knows about any of that stuff, but the fact that this game is like, no, we want all of that. Like, that was just so cool to me. That's why, all these lines are so memorable, because the writers took care, and then they found the perfect voices too. Because I play this game and I'm just like, this is Namor, this is Black Panther, this is Mantis. Like, it's just everything's so perfect. So they knocked it out of the park.
Scott, there's like 100 comments coming in right now saying, I want to hear some beatboxing.
Yeah,
Can
you can't just
beatbox
mention
now.
that.
Do it now.
Peer pressure.
Sure, yeah. All right. Like weird stuff,
What? Come on.
There are going to be 15 compilations of Star-Lord videos to that sound now.
I did the Star Spangled Banner in the form of Jimi Hendrix at a Solar Bears game in Orlando, Florida. And so you just use like the stuff between your teeth, like the little saliva and stuff, and you just go. And you just do weird stuff like that.
Oh my God, that was the finger slide off the string,
dude. Don't.
At the end.
Awesome.
Wow.
You did the little.
This is deep right here.
There was a flourish.
Right here.
I am going to replace my
amazing.
poster of Scott doing beatboxing. That's it.
Anyway, it's in the game, and that's these guys, man. They just do that stuff. They allow you to play. So I'm so lucky to be a part of this.
You've lived with this character for a long time, and you are part of him. He's part of you, and so that you brought that personal part of you to him. That it just makes sense that they let you, and it's amazing that they kept it in there. But you did that. You added to Star-Lord with you, and I feel like that's what we all try to do, as voice actors.
All right, so if we see Pratt beatboxing,
what?
Find the
see
collaboration.
Pratt beatboxing, we'll know it's wholly unoriginal.
Totally.
Yeah, you take a notch for that.
Can I piggyback on what Colleen just said? I think it's fascinating because I haven't played Namor before. This is my first. And going back to like the comic stuff, I started reading as many comics as I could after I got the part, just to like get to know who he was. And by the time we went in for the second session, I had read so many comics about him and understood his point of view, so that when we were recording the lines with, for example, Invisible Woman, I understood where he's going like, "Oh, Susan, you wound me." Like getting to know the characters more and more just feeds the recording sessions, and the developers are so good at like letting you kind of play with it and come up with something and suggest stuff and improvise. And half the time the lines that we record just came up from goofing around in there, which is so cool. But yeah, getting to know your character really well is just such a joy and such a privilege to be able to do and keep going back in. I think it's awesome.
That's cool.
I had a question. I saw someone ask, how would you like to see your character continue? How would you like to continue working with your character? Some people have said that they love to see like an animated series or shorts or something like that, in like the spirit of like the TF2 Meet the Merc videos. Would you guys be interested in doing something like that in the future?
No, No, I don't want to.
Yeah, we hate
Chick
watching
Man's
that.
here, and I don't want to do an animated
No.
series.
Yeah,
Are you
what do
kidding
you
me?
think we're sellouts? What the hell's wrong with you, Solid JJ?
No, I know. I know,
One
my-
day.
horrible
That's
question.
all I
Forgive me.
said. No.
10 lashes.
That'd be
I'm
cool,
sorry.
I guess. I guess that'd be cool.
I will say it would be really awesome if the MCU movies opened up a timeline where the characters are played by the voice actors from Rivals. That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
So
There
Just
was
throwing
a
that out
teenage-
there, just in case.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you're listening.
that's possible.
I would say whatever sandbox offers the greatest flexibility with storylines, because there are some spaces where you just can't touch certain material, but and that's fine. But I think a more sophisticated consumer of our media might open up some doors for us with respect to what we can do. Because I think this iteration of Black Panther is different than others that I've portrayed, and that's just I think that's cool. So I would be curious to hear how the fans would want to experience these characters, right? Would they want a mobile app or something that they can hear? Would they want an animated series? Would they want a series that goes on for 20, 30 years? Would they want us all to be series regulars, something that goes on for like 40 or 50 years, 60, 70 years?
Guys, he's about to hit 100. Here we go.
To us. I'm just saying, the sky's the limit, really,
I would love that.
with the stories we can tell.
Yeah, so would I.
Yes, please.
Something I think is really cool to add on to what James is just saying. Marvel creates these characters, and then game developers further it, and the characters evolve over time. And I think a really interesting dynamic of that is what happens when the audience gets a hold of the character and kind of shapes and forms what they accept and what they don't. And that to me is an exciting process of the emerging development of these characters. I think it's really cool.
That's a question I'd like to ask. When you were coming up with the voice for your character, what was the mindset or the headspace you got yourself into when you were trying to perform this person, when you were thinking your character? Does anyone have any like a story or something come to mind? Abby, when you were voicing Magic,
whoa.
Sorry, I want to include you. If there was, when you were voicing your character, was there any particular things you were thinking of trying to like fit into the character? How did you perceive them?
Definitely. So I haven't read Magic comics. Like what I knew about the character was from the existing movies and like pieces of animation clips online that I could find. But one thing that I wanted to incorporate into her character was a little bit of this like Yelena from Black Widow.
Yeah.
A little bit of her like kind of, I don't even know the word to describe it, but she's kind of sassy, but she's also lovable. And I wanted to try to infuse Magic with a little bit of that because Magic can be pretty sassy, especially when she's interacting with characters like this isn't the pop song Luna. Like she's really harsh. So I wanted to try to make her not completely not too harsh, still lovable, but she will definitely give certain characters flack. When I first got the audition, I think there was a line in the script that was something like, "You don't know me, pity, but you will." And then that line really summed up her kind of attitude in the whole game in this world of Marvel Rivals. I feel like this version of Magic is a little bit like she has overcome a lot of the trauma that she has gone through, everything in limbo. She's kind of come through all of that, so she can comment on a lot of that trauma in kind of a fun way, off the cuff way. So I tried to bring some of that, and obviously the writing helps. The writers are, phenomenal for this game, so they took the vibe and they ran with that vibe.
Jordan, you were gonna say, I think you raised your hand.
Oh yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out is a lot of people are like, when you hear Andrew's The Thing voice, I mean, it's just crazy. It's so hard not to focus on like the tone and the pitch, like when it goes down here and he's doing this thing, it's crazy. But that's my shit impersonation. But
That was really good.
But the point
you're out.
I wanted to say, I am here to get Andrew recast as myself. All right.
Oh, okay.
As I'm sure you all are.
But I wanted to point out though is when we get these specs, they always list like everything, their backstory, blah 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 blah, and then tone, like where deep, high, mid, scratchy, not scratchy. That's the last thing I really care about as because we're all trained actors here, right? Or if we're not trained, we just audition enough that we're now trained, okay? And that what I mean by that is I get the essence down. Like, what is their vibe? If I could get just adjectives are very helpful, but like digging into their story. When I was going through Adam's stuff, I'm like, God, he's a golden god, and he stands for this iteration of him as he stands for good. So he has to be very, very calm, very poised. He doesn't have to yell at anyone. So I relaxed the voice a lot. And I wasn't like, ooh, I have to go really deep because Adam has this deep. I don't know if that was in the spec or not, but I just relaxed and made him very wise. Everyone can trust an Adam. Now he's going to see the light in you, and he's going to see your soul if you're fucking around. Oh, messing around. Sorry. I don't know. It's supposed to be family friendly. Sorry, my bad.
Earmuffs, girls.
Okay.
Excuse me.
That's why we got a 30-second lead.
Yeah. But
You do have that, right, Jay?
Sure.
Sorry. See, and then the perfect human apparently then he curses, right? But anyways, the point being is character first. Like, and I do like celebrity sound-alike work, and I always what I focus on is not exactly where their voice is. I like what is their vibe, right? Like like if you're doing Jeff Goldblum, like yeah, he's just like there are all these isms that he's doing, but what's his vibe is that he's neurotic, he's so curious. He's into things. So you got to tap into that first and then do the voice. The voice will follow after that. So that's kind of into the psyche, at least how some of us think. I don't know if that's helpful.
No,
I wish I went that deep. You want to hear how I came up with the thing?
Yeah.
I used to take hot yoga before COVID in Sherman Oaks. And it just so happens that Michael Chiklis used to go to the same one. And he used to always sit in the same place of the room, and I'd always sit behind him. And when the light was low, I would see his silhouette. And Michael Chiklis is the shape of the thing, especially from the back. And so, like, whenever my friend was a yoga teacher, I used to go up behind him and go, Michael Chiklis, like that, like behind him, and he'd be like, oh, he's not here today, dude. I'd be like, oh, damn it. And he'd be like, he doesn't sound anything like that, by the way. And then when this audition came around, I was like, I'm gonna do my Michael Chiklis yoga voice.
His whole audition was 2 words, just Michael Chiklis, and they were like, "There he is."
Now I want to see the thing do hot yoga.
It's like you imagine.
You think that employee or who you would do that to was playing the game one day, clicked your character, and was like, "Wait, that's the guy! That's him! The hot yoga guy!"
Michael Chiklis is playing one day and go, son of a gun! He did it!
This sounds like my silhouette.
Who's that creepy dude behind me?
That thing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing, dude.
All right, let's see. Goodness. Question for Abby from Kaiser. How long does it take to get the Russian accent right?
Well, actually, I was born in Russia, so this whole time I've been doing an American accent.
Oh.
Just kidding. I don't know. I've played several Russian characters at this point, and they're always evolving. Like, one thing I find helpful with accent work is inconsistency. So if you listen to people who speak with an accent, they're not always making the same inflections of certain vowels. Like it changes a little bit here and there, and so I feel I listen to people speaking on YouTube. I'll find YouTube videos of people speaking casually in their like native accent, and I try to emulate that flow for when I do accent work. And I find that if you're hooked on the proper, like, oh, they pronounce their T's hard every time, it feels less natural, and it feels less like the way that people speak. Does that make any sense? Am I making any sense?
You're making a ton of
Totally.
sense.
No,
Yep.
no,
Great.
I hear you.
Cool. That's what I like to do. I like to watch
I'm loving this
YouTube.
masterclass that I'm learning from all of you. This is
Or podcasts too. Podcasts are another great resource where like you can get people speaking casually, conversations between two people in their natural accent. So it makes it easier to pull from and not study the accent too hard.
There's dialect archives online you can just go listen to, and I'll always pick one word that I need to like reset me into the accent if like I'm doing accent work.
Yes.
And I'm always like, but then there's just hours of me saying one word before I say a line that has nothing to do with anything else. Like for Russian, it was always battery was the one for me in Russian to try and get, because the A is not an A, it's battery. It's like, you know, you have this battery. And it's so I always just say battery, but with an accent. It's just, am I the only idiot that's doing this? I don't know.
No, there's
I do a phrase. Like I'll
like
find a phrase.
yes. No.
Yeah,
ahead,
phrases like for Australian.
It's called like the anchor.
Flat white. I'd like a flat white, please. And then for Kiwi, so potato wedges. Potato wedges.
Potato wedges, I love it.
Potato wedges.
Potato wedges.
So in sessions,
the
you're just saying
phrase-
potato
the
wedges.
Really helps.
Scott's saying
What?
battery. This is amazing. Give me a minute. Battery.
Battery.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, I like to go back to Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yes.
Natasha.
Totally.
That's my
Here's a good
master
question.
class in Russian accents. Or Chekhov from Star Trek. He's a good.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
Here's
But
a
there's like
question from-
variation within those accents too. Like there's what you think of when you think of a Russian accent, and then like Ukrainian is like a little different. So I like to with each character kind of try to pinpoint what within the accent, like what is their flow. I'm gonna stop talking about accents now.
Dude, that's
Oh, it's
awesome.
good. All my Russians sound Ukrainian because I have a Ukrainian HVAC guy.
There you go. There you go.
Here's a question from Rhapsody. Do you guys collect merch of your characters? And by the way, for the audience, if you guys are interested in getting signed merch or any kind of merchandise, check the link below, streamlink.com/marvel-rivals. You can get your very own. But maybe, let's see. I
What
don't
about
know.
you,
Does anyone here
Scott?
collect merchandise from their characters?
As you can see,
I collect everything.
a lot of stuff.
I collect.
I saw Scott's Funko Pops and I bought a bunch of
I have.
Whoa!
It's Human Torch underwear. Why are you guys getting all bent in?
Flaming hot underwear.
You've got an unruly belt loop or something.
I do have an unruly belt loop. Thank you for pointing that out, Drew.
Scott, I also wear a green thong all the time. So
Do you? Is it the same one I borrowed from you for that holiday party? That was awesome. Thanks.
That's what I'm talking about. Where the culture gets to dictate what you wear.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll say for me, I'm so grateful to be here in this VO world and everything. I started off doing on-camera stuff, but the whole time all I wanted to do is voices, going back to playing with toys and comic books and cartoons. So I'm just grateful to be here. So any character that I've been able to sort of been lucky enough to have that moment to voice that character, I just kind of take full advantage of it. And I'm just like, oh, it's a great excuse to buy some old comics, some old figures, some stuff I had as a kid that I threw away over the years. And, it's just great to kind of, for me, it just kind of keeps me attached to being young. And, as midlife crisis creeps up on me, I'll just remember that at 10, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Marvel. And, so, yeah, so I do have a lot. I have a little nerd corner outside the booth here where I have a bunch of, it's some of the characters I've voiced, but also a lot of other things, Back to the Future stuff, Disney stuff. It's just like a little bunch of figures and statues and stuff like that.
Cool.
Everybody should have a nerd corner.
Everyone should have a
Yeah.
corner.
Totally.
I honestly
Audience.
am such a fan and collect so much stuff, so much so that, and I said this in the last stream, but when we did the cast announcement at Comic-Con, I didn't know who anybody in the cast was because we weren't allowed to know anything. And, they announced us, and I saw Fred, who voices the Hulk, and I ran up to him and I was like, hey man, can you sign my little booklet? And he's like, yeah, Namor, I'll sign it for you. And he literally wrote to Namor. I was like, oh my God. But I completely fan out, and I love collecting stuff like that. So again, be able to be a part of this is surreal and like a super dream come true. But also, yeah, I am actually going to ask all of you for an autograph as well at some point.
Totally, man.
Well, I'll be asking for yours.
Family stores are open, so
Yes.
Yeah, you know where to go.
Down below.
I'm only here to get 20% off all your autographs. If I can.
I love it.
Friends
Love
and
it.
family.
Colleen doing no one favors.
Full price.
Oh, we got a good question from the chat. How does it feel to be in the new hero shooter that has numbers-wise taken over all hero shooters? The oldest is 6+ years old. Do you think this game can go 5, 10, 15 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As somebody who I've voiced this same character in like 5 games that didn't last long at all, and it blows me away because I'm a gamer too. So to be in a game that is looking like it's going to be a constant on people's, radar for years and years and years to come this is a first time for me. Because a lot of times I do like standalone games. You're in, you're out. You play it, you get an ending, and you move on. This game is endless. So for me, like, I am so stoked to just because every time we introduce a new character, Star-Lord's going to have to talk to him. So I'm going to keep working and people are going to keep playing. And it's dope. I mean, it's awesome. I'm so excited.
That's great, man.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. James, were you saying something? Were you jumping in there to say something?
I was just adding to that Marvel has an extensive library of characters. And so, yeah, it's built in that this could, go as long as the imagination of the storytellers.
Totally.
It's also just such a fun game. I mean, I know some of you don't play it, but it is such an engaging and addictive game in that it never feels like, oh, I'm over it. Or you don't crash out as much. Like, there's just so much more, fun. And the fact that it's like real IP also makes a big difference. We're not like playing with Metal Boy or Arachnid Kid. These are like the real.
Hey, don't knock Arachnid Kid.
Or Metal Boy. Come on, man. I'm Metal Boy.
When I created Metal Boy, I thought Excelsior. I've done it.
You should see Arachnid Kid's Nerd Corner.
Yeah. You go over to Arachnid Kid's house and you're like, not Arachnid Kid corner again.
Actually, it's pretty real though. As someone, I've played the game quite a lot, embarrassingly amount of time, and as someone who plays a lot of Spider-Man, Daniel, I hear your voice in my nightmares pretty often.
Literally every single negative message I get on social media that are like, I hate your character. I'm like, you must be a Spidey main. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Jumping off what James said earlier, are there any characters in the entire Marvel mythos, because it goes pretty far out, that you would love to see added to the game?
Wow.
Yes.
Iceman.
Bobby Drake.
Iceman.
Really cool.
Bobby Drake's my all-time favorite character in any comic book ever written. So I want to see Bobby Drake.
Oh God, I thought you meant Chuck Liddell.
There were fake leaks that came out not too long ago. Let me ask you, would you be interested in seeing Pasta Bowl Pete being added to the game? He's a spaghetti-based Marvel villain.
When I created Pasta Bowl Pete, I thought Excelsior. I've done it.
That's amazing.
That's such a good stand, man. That's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
This is the question that is perplexing everyone at Marvel headquarters now. They're like, who are we going to bring to the forefront?
Yeah.
I actually messed around on my stream and I brought up, someone mentioned, I have this Marvel characters book and it was like the 5 most unfortunate Marvel characters as far as like their, and one of them was Snot and his ability is like shooting mucus or something like that. And so someone put a picture of him in my Discord and I like made up a voice for it and I'm like gonna pitch it to Marvel. I'm just kidding. But I like, just made a nasty congested voice. Like, we got to have Snot and Spaghetti Pete. What was that? What it was?
These are sounding like Garbage Pail Kids.
No, they're very. You guys are going to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
I don't know. Villain-wise, I'd like to see the Wrecker. He has a magic crowbar, This is you just put a guy with a crowbar in this big Marvel game and see what happens. It's an Asgardian crowbar, and the dude is just awesome. So those are my two votes: Iceman and the Record.
Okoye, and Shuri from Black Panther. They need to be in the game. Stat.
Yeah,
I would.
yeah.
Badass.
Yeah.
I would love to see
For
Ghost
sure.
Rider and also voice him.
There you go.
Couldn't leave that
I think
out.
we
Shoot
need
your
more
shot.
creatures.
Shoot your shot.
Creatures like Jeff the land shark, but maybe like some Flurkin or I don't know what other creatures are.
Lockjaw. Put him in there. He's a good pup. He teleports everywhere. That guy's awesome.
Get all the creatures.
Lockjaw.
You're talking about unfortunate superheroes, and maybe this is a bit unrelated, but have you ever heard of Asbestos Lady?
No.
Really?
In the 40s, it was the original Human Torch. One of his villains, because asbestos is fire. It nullifies fire, and she would collect asbestos-related technology in every issue that she was in.
Wow.
She's an unfortunate hero because in the Marvel encyclopedia, in one of them, she's assumed dead due to asbestos, and they just leave it at that.
Well, I did have to talk to my landlord about Asbestos Lady, who I think was living in my series.
Yeah.
But they've since.
I was going to say, I had a couple of remediations thanks to her. A couple of abatements.
I had black
garage.
mold actually in my walls, and I got Excelsior.
Scott doing Stan Lee the whole time. It's perfect, man.
That's all I'm gonna do.
Thank
from
you
now
for
on.
channeling the spirit, man. Thank
Why
you.
can't I just
Put
be Stan Lee in
in
this
the game.
That's who we
Stan
need.
Lee in the
Sign
Stan
the
Lee.
petition. Tell everyone I want to voice
Stan Lee in Marvel Rivals.
That should be a skin for Johnny.
God
you know,
tier.
you have like the outfit, and it has
Let's
a
go.
whole set of voice lines. You got a lot of work for you. You know.
Oh my gosh, I could just go stand on, and then I could just sort of, and then
Someone's
just
gonna make
Stan
that
Lee
mod
on
right now.
fire. Like,
Awesome.
Is it hot in
awesome.
here or is it just me?
okay, I'm sorry.
Somebody start tracking on Scott. Oh my God.
You know, and then when the game starts to lose money a little bit, there's a guy named Flatman, and you could he's literally just 2-dimensional. So if you turn sideways, you don't see him. So they don't have to really spend too much money to make that guy. We can just throw Flatman in the game at the end of the life cycle here.
That's amazing.
So we're getting closer to wrapping up. Before the stream, I had to add some as we went, but I had written up some either misheard lines from some of you guys or just made up things that I thought would be fun for you guys to say. Would you be okay with that?
Depends
As
on
long
what
as
it
it's
is.
not disparaging.
Oh boy.
Nothing crass, nothing crazy. I'm gonna throw it into the private chat if you'd like to go. Well, that's not.
And I'm not doing any
at all.
snot boy impersonations.
But
I
it's
think you
in
will.
there.
I think you will.
You know, we're still in this deep fight against AI right now, so I hate to
Oh goodness, yeah.
our impersonations be corrupted and co-opted by.
I can do it one at a time. Let's see. Jordan,
Yeah.
would you be willing to go first for this experiment?
Do you want me to say it as Adam normally says it, or do you want it? We'll do two versions. It's
Okay.
very short. It's 2 words. All right. So hold on. Let me put my effect on here.
Effect.
Yes. All right.
Oh.
Mr. Audio.
All right. It's a
Fast
very
over there. What's
slight,
going on?
a very, very slight variation in my old line, in Adam's old line. Here we go. Bored again. And then bored again.
Oh, I'm
Ship
sorry. Right
the
before we
game.
actually got a $20 donation. I need to adjust this. If they bring in the cast of Always Sunny in Philadelphia to voice a new Marvel Rivals character, which character would you like to hear from the crew? And that's from Jerry the Hero.
Charlie Day needs to do Frogman or something.
Yes.
God.
I'm trying to think who Sweet D could be. She's so funny.
I mean, I just lost my job to Danny DeVito. He should be the thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would say Glenn Howerton to voice Quicksilver, the most snide hero that we've ever had in Marvel Comics. Glenn Howerton, Quicksilver. Let's go.
I love that.
Rob.
Did you get your $20 worth, pal?
There's an issue of X Factor. I hold on for the guy for $20. My Glenn Howerton as Quicksilver. There's an issue where he's on a team called X Factor, and they have a psychic evaluation by the U.S. government done on them, and Quicksilver's scene in that is explaining why he's such a dick to everyone in the world. It's because, have you ever sat behind the woman at the grocery store who is trying to pay her entire bill with change and keeps on miscounting? And then you just need to go on with your day. And she's just, I can't seem to find that last penny. And you are just now getting more angry and angry. He's like, that's what every second of every moment of my life is just waiting for all of you to count change, basically. It's an incredible issue. X Factor, when they get evaled by Doc Samson. So the guy that paid $20, go read that issue, hear Quicksilver as Glenn Howerton, and have a great day.
You did it.
All right.
I love that you did that.
Abby, this was a pretty popular one that I've seen. People mishear your alt sound as
Yeah.
the old stepchild.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm gonna be signing on my prints from now on. That's a screamy one. I don't know if I could scream that for
Yeah,
you
you
guys.
can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I want to hurt you. Okay. Behold, stepchild!
Oh, great.
I heard the echo.
Without the
We
filter,
have
you
a
still
great
got it.
relationship, me and my stepchild. Yes, it's fine.
Also want to point out our booths. You have a black Studio Bricks. I have a yellow one, and together they're a B.
Scott, this is one personally I've heard completely wrong. Whenever you have your old, I hear leg of Jerry or law and jury.
Leg of Jerry!
Damn. Damn.
Scott,
that was awesome.
Can I ask? Did you just in the session when you recorded that? It wasn't written like LEEEEGG.
No.
You did that, right?
It just said legendary, and it said ultimate, and I went, all right.
It's so long. I love it.
I just put a little. I know, and I immediately, that was my first question on the other side of it, because look, in TV you could take as long as you want to do whatever line, right? You have space for everything. In games, it's like, yeah, that animation is 1.2 seconds. You're like, oh shit, all right, well, we try and shorten it, but that I just went with it, and the guy in the booth was laughing. He was like, I don't think we need another one of those. And then the team on Zoom was like, yeah, you're right, we don't. And then they just kept it. I was like, yes, one take, Jake, let's do it. But I just put a little Steven Tyler rock scream, protected rock scream in most of the ults for Star-Lord, and I could do that all day. That's easy.
The protected rock scream. Awesome.
I want to hear that now.
No, that's
Dance.
Yeah! Like, it's just like
Damn. Just busts it out. Damn.
Can you do leg of Jerry in that falsetto? Okay.
Andrew, this one isn't a misheard. It's just something I thought would be funny.
No.
Oh, thank God. I was trying to remember what that was from. I was going to come up with a story. I was like, okay, so in the the unlikely event that we have to save the sun, the planet, and you're gonna, so it's not daylight savings, it's daylight saving, and you're making a pun on it. I was just like, God, I don't remember this at all. Maybe this is a tip of our hat to America in an agricultural age. That's very important, So I'd be like, it's daylight saving time.
Awesome.
Well, I think we're getting close to that. I have so many more of these, but I can't. We're getting too close to the ending bit. I think we should just go one at a time. If you guys want to link any of your social medias, if there's anything you want to shout out that you're working on or anything like that, we can do the same list from before. So starting with Daniel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my everything is Danger Marin. It's TikTok, Instagram, also my Twitch. If you want to come, I literally try to stream every night playing the game. And I also co-stream with Jordan often. Shout out to him. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get some of these guys on here and we'll play together. So stand by. But yeah, come by the Twitch.
James?
Yeah, just my name, James Mathis III, at the Instagram, at the Twitter. And I just want to give a shout out to casting, everybody involved in the production of this game, our agents, and certainly all the fans of Marvel Rivals for playing the game and making it as popular as it is. And I wish you continued enjoyment.
Thank you, Colleen.
Hi. Yeah, so Instagram at Colleen O'Shaughnessy. It's really long and, sorry. Good luck with the spelling. But it usually just pops up. And my Streamily signing is next Saturday. So FYI, I'll do it live on Instagram. Anything else, like any projects and stuff, I can't really talk about, but that's where I post it. So, something new's coming, I will throw it on the Instagram. But thank you guys so much for playing, and the response has been amazing. And we do what we do for you guys, and it's what makes us so happy when you guys like it. So thank you.
Abby?
Yes. I'm at Abby Trot on most things except TikTok. I'm Abby.Trot. And let's see. I've got season 2 of Don to Don coming out in July. Don't know when yet. And then the Demon Slayer movie's coming out September 12th. So
Woohoo!
go see that. Yay. And thanks for playing, you guys. I've been meeting a lot of people at conventions, and the hype for this game is real and so awesome. And I've seen some incredible Magic cosplayers that make me want to be them. So yeah, thanks for playing.
You can find me on my MySpace page, where I'm now the
You took
mayor
my
and
joke.
president of MySpace. No, I'm on Instagram and Facebook at the Scott White. It's there in the tag right below. Next Sunday at 10 a.m. I'm doing a signing here through Streamily, and please sign a petition for me to be the voice of Stan Lee, because that's all I want in life now. Within this 45 minutes, I realized I have a new goal.
I'll sign right now.
Scott, I have Piot on the phone. He doesn't like.
He already took that job from me. Dang it.
Thanks for having us here, Solid JJ. You are solid, as your name says. So thanks for having us.
Thank you. I paid to include that part. Jordan?
Oh, God. I think we should all do Stanley impressions. That would just be funny.
That would be great.
I've never really tried him. Yeah, that's a weird. He's got a unique voice. Anyways, you can find me in most places. It's at Jordan's Voice on Twitter. It's Jordan Wren, because the Jordan Reynolds guy took it before I got on Twitter 25 years ago or something like that. But that's where I'm most active on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And I have a live signing with some really cool custom Adam art I commissioned. I got a Blood Soul skin for all the Adam fans out there commissioned, and it's gorgeous. So check it out on my Streamly page. It's on March 26th. You can order ahead of time. I will sign it live, and it's at 3 p.m. March 26th, next Wednesday, Pacific. That was a weird order of those words, but you all know what it meant. So, but thank you. Like, seriously, thank you to Netties. Thank you to Bright Skull. Thank you, Solid JJ, Streamly, for hosting this. And it's just been so fun to actually interact with the rest of this cast. And thank you to the fans. The fans are amazing. Like, there's so much love for these characters and for the game. And there's been this many trolls and then an infinity amount of fans. Everyone's so kind. So thank you, everyone.
Andrew?
Gosh, I don't want to follow that. See, I'm a caveman. Your ads and your Instagrams frighten and confuse me. I'm not that far off from that. Yeah, write me a letter, or stop by the house. No, Drew Morgado at Instagram, or Drew Morgado VO at Instagram. I just echo what you guys have said, Colleen especially. Just like, we do this stuff for the fans, and you don't know what it's going to be when you throw it out there. And in this particular case, we all got really fortunate, and all the people that brought us there with the everything from Bright Skull and agents and the casting directors and stuff it's very thankful. And the fans have been so cool about this stuff, man. It's unbelievable when you get that feedback. So yeah, all you guys did an amazing job. And thank you guys, and thank you, Solid J. And hey, Scott, other Scott, not you, White. Sit down.
Oh.
Hey, could you say hi to Isla Bell and Maisie Bell for me?
Yeah, I can do it right now. Yeah. Hi, Isla
Yes,
Bell. Hi, Maisie Bell. How are you?
Yeah, my daughters are big fans of yours.
Yes, awesome, dude.
That was so cute.
Scott Porter. I'm at Skittish Kid on Instagram. I will be popping into Daniel's Twitch stream and saying I'm the voice of Star-Lord, to which no one will believe me. I'll be watching my Knicks and with James Mathis very soon. And for those that are literal people, he's not James Mathis the third on Instagram. He went James Mathis III. So just so you follow the right guy, because I don't know who James Mathis the third is out there. I don't. Yeah, man, I got your back, brother. Star-Lord has been a part of my life for a decade now, and I know everybody's saying we do this for the fans, but I also, kind of selfishly do this for me. I'm just a huge fan of the character, and the fact that my 9 and 7-year-old get to see Star-Lord with their dad's voice is like one of the biggest reasons I do this too. Do it for the kids and do it for the fans out there, of course. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in and playing and loving this game as much as we do, and the writers did, and everybody involved did. You can tell that this game is one of those that had a lot of care put into it, and to be a part of it just makes me feel super fortunate. Upcoming stuff, Ginny and Georgia season 3 on Netflix comes out on June the 5th, and I'll be heading back up there to do season 4 for 6 months through the cold winter of Toronto, starting later this year. So that's that.
Yeah, buddy.
Right on. Yeah. Well, I'm Eli Mountjoy. That's what all my socials are, except for Twitch, which is Eli_Mountjoy, because some freak took Eli Mountjoy. Who does that? But I'm going to be getting into more of that streaming stuff after Daniel and Jordan have so inspired me. I'm looking forward to doing that because I'm a lifelong gamer. So, but I want to thank the community. I want to thank you guys, the cast. I just know a few of you, but I'm so honored and so overjoyed to be a part of this. Everybody here is so cool. This is such a wild ride. And I'll second what Jordan said. The community is just so uplifting and inspiring. It's just an amazing feeling to be part of something that is rising the tide. And I'm here for it. I don't know how to surf, but I got a surfboard, so let's go.
All right, yeah. It was wonderful getting to talk with you all. You guys are just fantastic, and really thankful for your time. I think we're going to end this now, but before we go, let's just get one round of bolts. Can we all say that? All give our big old scream and ruin your pipes just one last time?
Sure.
All at the same time?
Or individually?
Individually. I think all at the same time would actually break the sound barrier, just possibly.
Daniel!
Huh.
Yes.
James.
Oh, it's me. What does he say? Tremble? Is that the tremble line?
Yeah.
Big and powerful.
Ooh. One more time. It kind of cut out.
Yeah, because I lowered the volume. I don't want to blow everybody in.
Come on,
just do it.
Go.
Give us your mic.
Tremble before boss.
Right.
We are undefeatable!
Behold, Dark Child!
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
so good.
Supernova!
Ooh, he had the prop too.
Yeah, I'm selling. I'll just give these.
Link below, guys.
Born again!
This echo effect.
I want reverbs.
I have all the reverbs.
I have a horn. Come on, man.
It's clobbering time!
I just got to say, man, it's like the rookie of this group. I am so thrilled. You guys are so friggin' incredible, man. You guys are awesome. To be in this company is insane. Here we go. Legendary!
Woo!
I still hear that.
All right.
Gary.
Armed and dangerous! Again! 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 And that's enough.
One more.
You should just end the stream with him just again, just cut in the middle, just like Bucky, shut up.
That's amazing.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for watching, and that's that.
Excelsior!
Yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Charlotte,
Thank you,
for having
thank you,
us.
everybody. Stream
Great Marvel Rivals.